Are you a movie buff? Do you love dissecting and analyzing your favorite films? Look no further than the Projection Booth podcast. Join host Mike White and a bevy of guest experts as they explore the history, themes, and legacy of cult classics, obscure gems, and mainstream hits. Join us every week for a unique and engaging look at your favorite movies. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and tune in to the Projection Booth podcast, available on all major podcast platforms.
Hello, filthy movie lovers. My name is Gentry Austin.
And I'm Casey Scott.
And we're the hosts of the Sin Syndicate, film podcast for something weirdos, anti-criterion bros, and Joseph Sarno aficionados. Join us semi-weekly as we peer into the adults-only theaters and sticky-floored cinemas of the golden age of sexploitation, when the morals were loose, the laws were murky, and the intercourse was all simulated. Find us now on the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello, creeps. It's me, John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper, and you're listening to Chronicles from the Crypt.
Hello there, I'm Casualty Chris.
And this is Father Malone.
And we are the hosts of Chronicles from the Crypt, a twice-a-month look at the cult horror anthology series Tales from the Crypt, that originally aired on HBO from 1989 to 1996.
Now, on each of these podcasts, we're doing 2 episodes of Tales from the Crypt, and along the way, we've been doing a lot of bonus episodes, much more than we originally intended to do, as a matter of fact. We're doing tangentially related Tales ephemera a whole lot lately. We've been doing a lot of Creep Show. If you've been listening to those, thank you so much, and keep listening, and, yeah.
We have definitely done more of that recently than we have done of Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, that we definitely have. So let's get back on the Tales from the Crypt horse, if you will.
On this episode of Chronicles from the Crypt, we're going to be talking about Season 4, Episode 3 and 4, On a Dead Man's Chest, and Seance.
Don't be gone. Greetings, poison girls. Are you ready to rock and roll? Good. Then slip into your gore jacket and prepare to sing along. Can't carry a tune? That's okay. I'm just playing by ear myself. Tonight's terror tune concerns a young headbanger who lets a woman get a little too far under his skin. I call this decomposition On a Dead Man's Chest.
So On a Dead Man's Chest aired June 27, 1992. I believe they showed the first 3 episodes of Season 4 on premiere night for Tales from the Crypt. It is directed by Billy Friedkin, yes, the director of The Exorcist, written by Larry Wilson, stars Yul Vasquez, Paul Hipp, and Tia Carrera, and it's a really poor retelling of A Telltale Heart.
Oh boy, isn't it? It's even worse than that.
Yeah, it is a really bad segment of the show, episode, I guess, because this is a episode as opposed to a segment, but God, it is not good. It is just... No. It feels like the Sam Kinison, Lee Arenberg episode, but not nearly as... not nearly as interesting.
Like, if that episode had 0 interesting characters or technique or any fun at all. On a Dead Man's Chest, Let's put aside the sea shanty origins of its title. Actually, let's dig into that because now this was a Vault of Horror number 25, written and drawn originally by Johnny Craig, who is not the best artist and or writer at the EC Comics line. Now, this is one of those episodes where, you know, we always hope that the writers will take a detour and reinterpret it in their own way, and sometimes that works great, and in other cases we get this particular episode. Now, in the original comic book, I don't know if you read it, Chris, it was actually a love triangle, and so I guess we avoided that. But in the comic, it is a guy who owns a fleet of like tramp steamers, and he is married like an old fat man. He's married the young hot girl who only married him for her money. He's been waiting for his brother to come back to land. He's been out at sea for like 2 to 3 years. The brother shows back up. He loves the brother unconditionally, wants him to meet his new wife, but the brother who comes back hates him and immediately falls for the wife. They plot to kill him. Now, the husband has been saving the space on his chest for the ultimate tattoo. He's been waiting his entire life. And now that his brother and his wife and he are all reunited, they go, while he's completely plastered after a night out, and gets a tattoo of them on either side of him holding his hands. Then they bludgeon him to death, and when the police arrive, the police look at the tattoo, and the tattoo has now changed, so it's the wife bludgeoning him to death, and a brother, like, looking on, and then, the jig is up. So, not a great comic, not a great story. So once it, like, sort of deviated at the beginning, I was like, oh, okay, well, they're going to do something new and interesting with this. No, they did not. Good Lord. William Friedkin, man. He directed Sorcerer. Yeah,
that's the weird bit of this that I don't get is William Friedkin. Why rope him in to this?
I mean, look, you know, by the early 1990s, William Friedkin's film career was over. He had done sporadic work here and there. Did a movie called Rampage that kind of never got released. That was a serial killer movie. He had done one called The Guardian, which was this kind of rote horror movie about a possessed of a evil tree nanny. It was really bad. So I can understand him wanting to continue to work. I mean, you know, we, on our other podcast about Twilight Zone, we saw an episode of that he did, which was actually pretty good. There's just no style or skill to the direction at all. Like, if you had told me any random person had directed it, I would have believed it. If you said to me, this was directed by the director of The French Connection and The Exorcist, I'd be like, absolutely not, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't understand. He's like, it doesn't feel like he elevated it or brought anything to it at all, frankly.
Like, none.
Yeah.
It's absolutely shocking. And on top of all of that, like, okay, so, like, say he just did a workmanlike job, which is what he did. That's fine. But is there any one character who is in any way likable in this entire thing? Like, the lead character is such a fucking dick that you're just waiting for him to get his comeuppance, and it's not even that great when we get it.
Yeah, no, in typical Telltale Heart fashion, it's all self-inflicted at the end. Except in this time, instead of digging up a heart underneath the floorboards, it's cutting the tattoo off of his chest. Okay.
Sure, why not? And then what? I don't know, he goes to jail with a giant wound or something? Like, I don't know. Like, even... Oh, okay. So if you haven't seen the episode, I don't encourage you to watch it. But if you haven't, it's about this band who's just come off tour, and like the lead singer is upset that the guitarist has married this girl played by Tia Carrera, and like he like calls her out on stage like this bitch. She's breaking up the band. She's such a drag, and there's this rift between the band members. And then like it just goes insane, man. Like it's all over the place with this. Like these two sort of like groupie characters hanging out backstage, and one of them has a tattoo that comes to life. What was going on here, man?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't understand. And what I don't get is if there is going to be a comeuppance, it should have been better than it was, and it wasn't. And the whole idea of the tattoo to me just feels really shoehorned in.
Yeah, it's like, the original comic had the tattoo, so we've got to incorporate the tattoo or else this isn't like an adaptation, because other than the tattoo, there's like really no connection whatsoever to the original comic. So, I like the idea of a tattoo coming to life and meting out vengeance, but then don't take it away at the end and go, no, it was just all in his head. I mean, what? It's really crazy. And by the way, the groupie who supplies him the tattoo artist, and then once he's upset that he has the tattoo because it now features the face of Tia Carrere on his chest, like she's like, oh, I've got a great plastic surgeon. Like, what is this girl's occupation?
Groupie?
Yeah, she's a groupie to the stars, man. She she's got all the hookups. It's kind of crazy.
That must
by
be
the way,
what it is.
Did you catch the name of the band?
I didn't.
Exorcist. Oh, boy.
God.
Wow.
Yeah, don't remind us that you did something so good when we're watching something so bad.
Truly dreadful. That lead actor, I didn't even bother to look up what else he's done. He was so unappealing. He felt like Michael Imperioli with zero charisma.
He's been in a fair amount of stuff. Bad Boys 2, Runaway Bride.
I am shocked by this. Was he guy in Back of Room or Thug Number 2? Because that seemed his level.
Well, I mean, that's probably kind of what his... that seems to be his ability level, doesn't it?
Yeah, man. And Tia Carrere, she was the it girl there for a little while, for a couple of years.
Because of what? Because of Wayne's World, right?
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I think that's where most people I had seen her in a bunch of stuff sort of leading up to it, but she was never my cup of tea because she has zero charisma whatsoever, and she just sort of demonstrates that once again here.
Well, she's not given anything to do, and even if she was given something to do, I'm not sure I would trust her with doing that stuff to begin with.
Yeah, man. Also, does the whole band lives together? Is that the idea we're getting here?
Or that he lives at their house?
It's so weird. It's just so...
It's not good at all. It's again, and look, this is the third episode of the fourth season. What I don't understand here is this is the final episode of the opening night of the show, and God, what a fucking mess. And also, why on top of everything else did you waste any amount of budget on having a practical effect with the dragon popping off of the chest? Why?
Oh, didn't it look great?
No, it looked like a hand puppet.
It was so funny, man. I don't know. I was cackling while I was watching it, so at least I got some bit of entertainment out of this.
But you know what I mean, right? Why waste any amount of the budget on it?
I think they should have spent all the budget on it. It should have been just this guy trapped in a room with that goddamn dragon for the entire episode. I don't know. I can't begin to conceive of a way to save this episode. It is so wrong-headed from the get-go. I don't know. This is as bad as I've seen a Tales from the Crypt episode, I gotta admit.
No, I agree 100%. It is not... it is a bad, really bad, not good, even in the slightest episode. And I'm disappointed.
Yeah, they don't even have a good song at the beginning. That band starts playing and everyone in the crowd is cheering, and I'm like, what the fuck are you cheering? They're not even a good band. This is just bad. Garbage.
Yeah, this is a definite skip as far as I'm concerned.
100% skip. I do not remember seeing this when it came out. I'm glad I didn't then. I feel bad for myself that I actually watched it this time.
Well, and the other thing about it is, again, we've said this before, we'll say it again, why lead with this?
Yeah, I mean, this is your opening night. You're doing 3 instead of the usual 2. Okay, get it. The first 2 weren't that spectacular, and I guess they ended with this one. What's going on? Shouldn't they? This is season 4, man. Shouldn't they have hit their stride? What's going on in the offices?
I don't know. This should have been in my mind when the show, like you said, is really going farther.
Yeah, like we know what we're doing now. We've been doing this enough years. We know how to make these happen.
Should be taking advantage of what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that they were taking advantage of the nudity ratio in this particular episode.
Oh yeah, I honestly forgot that there was nudity in this show.
There's a ton in this one.
Yeah, in this episode, yeah, there sure is. But I had kind of forgotten there was nudity in this show.
It's like it's a show that's sort of it's so sexual and so good. Like if only somebody had been covering this show up until now.
Yeah, up until now, no one has been covering this show. Like it would have been really crazy if someone talked about Tales from the Crypt, gave the show its due. God, that would be crazy, wouldn't it?
I'm so glad somebody is finally starting this past week doing that.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I haven't been covering Tales from the Crypt on and off since 2015. But now that someone else is finally covering it, the show is getting its due. As a mature and sexual piece of comic book schlock, which it is comic book schlock, but fine. If you know what we're talking about, we're not going to name names. It irked us. If you saw it and it irked you, we're all in the same camp.
Let's just say other podcasters have decided to deign to cover this particular show when others have been doing it for some time.
Yeah, we're not the only Tales from the Crypt podcast. Even there's like
that's the thing. Like there are a bunch of them out there. Like
do all of them have John Cassier? Do all of them have John Cassier doing the intro? No. But I also know that there are other podcasts out there and would never say, well, we're the only ones, because I know we're not.
Of course not.
But I'm also not going to sit here and say, well, it's an adult sexual show. Because it's not an adult show, and it's sexual, but the sexuality in the show comes in between telling an interesting story most of the time.
Yeah, like, let's not try and convince people to watch it based on that.
Yes, it's adult and sexual. It also has tons of love triangles. Would you use that as a reason to watch the show as well?
Maybe we should.
Yeah, well, that was a comment that went unanswered. Shocking, of course. So
yeah, exactly.
Well, it's fine.
Anyway.
We don't have a check mark next to our Twitter name. We're not a real person. We're
not
just
official.
Right, we're just two guys who love Tales from the Crypt doing a podcast about it. The undiscovered show that is Tales from the Crypt. No one's heard about it until today.
Thank God someone is out there doing it.
Yeah, thank God they're doing live podcasts on Tales from the Crypt, because if they weren't, who would be?
Nobody.
But all jokes aside, this is a bad episode.
Yeah, don't watch this one. It's terrible. Skip it immediately.
Yeah, it's not good. And don't watch it, because if you watch it and you come to the realization it's bad, we told you. We tried to, at least.
You've been warned.
You have been warned. So let's move on to the next episode, Seance.
One of those hot LA days. Things were about to get interesting when she walked in. Her name was Samantha, and she was beautiful. A regular corpus delicti, with a great chest. Cavity, that is. Something in her socket said beware. Must have been the way they said hello to me. So, sweetheart, you say your husband's been cheating on you with another ghoul? That it? Well, I'll be glad to hear your story. But first I've got a tawdry tale of my own to tell. It's about a couple of scam artists who want to make a killing, provided they don't kill each other first. I call it Seance.
So Seance aired July 4th, 1992. It is directed by Gary Flater, written by Harry Anderson. It stars the always brilliant Kathy Moriarty, Ben Cross, also a little friend of the Alpha. God, what the fuck is the name of the house in Animal House?
Delta House.
John Vernon playing once again an old crotchety man. The episode
John Vernon. So good.
He's great. And the episode focuses on Kathy Moriarty and her partner, played by Ben Cross, who try to steal an old man's fortune, end up killing him, so then they put on a seance for his blind wife.
That they do.
It's not great.
No.
Because of the framing device in which they use to tell the story.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Like, they should never have had the episode have a flashback to when the character is sitting in the cabinet. Unless that flashback is meant to be John Vernon's flashback, but that doesn't make any sense. because
not
they
at all.
they show stuff that's going on that only Ben Cross could have seen happen. But the bigger point here is Ben Cross's character pretty much dies immediately.
Yeah, I guess like moments after his last bit of narration.
Right. So it's just a really weird framing device to use to get the plot from point A to point B.
Yeah, now, in this case, this is, once again, not based on a Tales from the Crypt comic. This is Haunt of Fear number 12, once again, written and drawn by Mr. Johnny Craig. I should also point out that if you listen to our very first bonus episode, we covered the Tales from the Crypt film from the early 1970s, produced by Amicus Productions, which featured one of the best stories ever committed to film, called Poetic Justice. Poetic Justice appeared in the very same issue of Haunt of Fear. The plot line is very similar to the comic in this case, but these are two con men who are constantly using a medium to convince people to give them their money. So it actually made a little more sense in the comic that they have, what they do is they convince this guy to give them some money, and as soon as he leaves the room and they think he's left, they start commenting on like what a sucker he is, but he hasn't left at all. He was just outside listening to them, and he comes back in and exposes them. They end up killing him. They can't get the money, so then they hatch the plan to get the wife in there to participate in the seance. Weirdly, there was actually a Tales from the Crypt episode, also not episode, but comic book story, also named Seance, and I read both of them. And the actual Tales from the Crypt one was better than the one that they decided to adapt here. But it's very similar to the comic as far as the Haunt of Fear that it's based on. I like the fact that this was a period piece. I always like when they do that. But overall, as much as I enjoy everyone sort of on screen, like this one just didn't quite gel together. It is 1,000 times better than the last story we just watched, The Dead Man's Chest, but still just felt like not enough. I don't know. What did you take away?
My big takeaway from this is the whole supernatural aspect feels so tacked on that it almost doesn't even matter, because again, the way the framing device is used is that it's almost a story with its own bookend.
Yeah, a really out of left field bookend, right?
Right, because like it opens and then it goes to that story where you spend 3/4 of the time, and then it comes back out for the ending, which is a literal 2-3 minutes, if that. And then you go to the actual episode bookend. And it's just so weird because the story feels bizarre. You're getting into the story in media res on top of everything else. And yeah, the people on screen are great. Ben Cross, Kathy Moriarty, John Vernon. But I mean, you know where this is going, more or less. You actually know where it's going because it's a fucking flashback. So you know that you know that he dies somehow. And you know that they're going to get their comeuppance because they're clearly con artists. Yeah, it's such a weird episode because there's just nothing going on. I would even say that nothing. It feels like when you get to the end of this episode, you're just like, well, nothing happened.
Truly, and like the con itself is not all that great, and then the way to correct the con when it's gone wrong is so weird and out of left field. Like, there's no sort of basis for like make this guy like a habitual seance. And
why is he fucking his cousin, like his supposed cousin? Like he doesn't come off as like a scuzzbag until he fucks his cousin. But even then, it's like, I don't understand why. What?
Well, it is Kathy Moriarty. If she were my cousin, I'd probably be interested too.
Wow. That's
just saying. I understand his motivation for wanting to have sex with her. I just don't know structurally what was going on here, or payoff-wise, or I don't know. But it's just like it's not the worst we've seen. I mean, I didn't feel like, oh my god, end this episode already, like I did with the last one. But at the same time, like, I just felt like it was so scattershot in its point of view. And and this was written by Harry Anderson, was it not?
Yes.
Like Night Court, Harry Anderson.
Yes, that Harry Anderson.
Right, who himself
Which is so weird.
Yeah, man, it's so unusual. Like, now, he starred in, I think it was a season 2 episode. He was a Corman's Calamity. So, clearly he had some sort of familiarity with these people and probably was like, hey, I'd like to do one. But the thing is, Harry Anderson played a character on Cheers forever called Harry the Hat, who was like this ultimate sort of con man. So when I saw his name, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be like the twistiest, curviest episode of all time. Like, it's going to be double cross upon double cross. And it is not. It's just so straight ahead. They just try and convince a guy that he needs to pony up a little bit of dough in order to get this inheritance. And then they fucking drop him down an elevator shaft and now let's convince his wife with a fake seance. I was just like, It felt like, and this feels like a lot of the episodes, the writers come to it with not only a lack of understanding of how supernatural works in fiction, but no actual genuine love of it. They just know that it's a Tales from the Crypt, so it has to end in a certain way, so now we're going to end it that way. There
has to be a reveal in the last minute of the episode.
Right, we need a twist. And, because it's Tales from the Crypt, it's going to be a supernatural twist, which is fine, but not in this case, man. This just feels like, again, season 4, brother. Like, what is happening here?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand here, Father Malone. And this is the thing, going back to those kind of snarky, look, we're making some snarky comments about some other podcasters who have taken it upon themselves to regale everyone with the magical stories of how great Tales from the Crypt is. And I think we need to have a serious, genuine conversation about the quality of this show right now. Because so far, season 4 has not been good.
Not at all.
And season 3 had some good moments. And this is the thing, what I don't remember is the show being less than great most of the time. I don't remember that.
Nor do I. I remember this show with a halcyon sort of a haze. I think that's true of every show. You go back and watch, people will remember all the best little twists in the Twilight Zone. If you go back and watch that show, there's 30 episodes per season. Maybe 3 of them were really good, and the most of them were okay, and pretty much most of them were bad. It's the same thing people think about Saturday Night Live. We're so attuned as a culture to watching best ofs. These were the 10 best moments, and yeah, those were great. Every single one of them is a winner, but you got to figure for 10 good sketches on Saturday Night Live, there were 150 that were complete and total misfires. And that's what I'm rediscovering now that I'm, sort of studiously reinterpreting Tales from the Crypt is there's a lot of chaff in this wheat, man.
Well, and that's the thing about this show that, again, with that nostalgia glasses, is like you said, it is easy to pick, in season 3, there were these really cool episodes. Do you not know that there were 20 fucking episodes since a good, not in season 2, there's 20 episodes almost. In season 3, there's just shy of 20 episodes. There's 14 episodes. And one of those episodes is ostensibly 2 episodes together. Season 4 is 14 episodes. So you've got these seasons that are pretty long, and everyone wants to pretend the whole show is great. It's not. And that's the unfortunate part. Because I love the show. But I'm realizing more and more that I think I like the idea of the show more than a lot of what is being executed on screen. And there are some episodes coming up this season that I am not looking forward to at all. At all. Like Maniac at Large.
Yeah, man, it's
oh my God.
We know that there are bad episodes, but so I remember the really bad ones, and then I remember the really good ones, and in my mind, the really good ones outweigh the bad. But maybe I'm just pinning my hopes that those episodes, when they come, the really good ones, even it out for the rest of the season. Look, there have been some episodes so far. I mean, we're in season 4 now. There are some episodes from the past 3 seasons that I'm just that is as good as television gets. So, overall, I can't be mad at the series in general. But, looking back now, like, if you go through all of the stories that were available in any of the EC comics, because they can draw, obviously, they're drawing from all of them. It's Haunt of Fear, it's Vault of Horror, it's Tales from the Crypt, and in a lot of cases, shock suspense stories, two-fisted tales. Like, you cannot convince me that there wasn't gold to be mined, and why not take that extra step to do it? Like, it just always feels like they're like, yeah, that's good enough. That sort of fits the bill. Go ahead and film that. Like, no, don't. Like, take a year off and fucking get the best possible shit we can and then fucking film that. Like, it's actually a little bit frustrating. I mean, look, I'm not down on the show overall, but like, the fact that these episodes keep happening and there are only so many you're getting per season, it's kind of shocking, you know? Like,
yeah. It is, because it's supposed to be, you know, this. It's not an adult sexual show, so shut your fucking mouth. That shit's just. That's not the way this show is. This is a schlocky, based off of a comic book show, and it never seems to steer into that enough.
No, I mean, we've said this before. They were on HBO. They can pretty much get away with whatever they want. Like, I'm sure there was.
They can get away with anything.
They can, and they do. And when they do, holy shit, it's so good. But like, I don't know. I just said it. I'm gonna say it again. It always feels like they're just like hiring people who they have sort of some relationship with, or the person has some sort of track record, and they're just letting them go and do whatever they want, instead of ultimately, like, who's steering the ship? You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be one person pointing and going, that's not good enough. I don't care if you're William Friedkin. I don't care if you're Harry Anderson. This is subpar. Go make this better. And if you won't do it, let's hire somebody else who will. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
no, I don't know either, because again, there seems to be a lack of a showrunner with the show.
Yeah, I mean, you look back at the EC comics. You had William Gaines sort of running the whole thing. Like, a lot of those comics, the stories were okay, but then they weren't holding themselves to any sort of higher standards. But I guarantee you, this show, what it really needed was a William Gaines. Like, whoever's running the fucking factory here is just not pulling their weight. Like, it's just, as long as we have every couple of episodes a zombie pop out or a fucking werewolf show up, like, that's good enough, right? That's what people want. It doesn't feel like there's any love driving it. Like, somebody who really gives a shit about horror and supernatural and twists and the original comics themselves, trying to say, like, let's do this the best. And I've leveled that same sort of argument, Robert Zemeckis, who's one of the executive producers on this show, like, he ended up creating a company called Dark Castle, which was adapting William Castle's films. And, like, on the surface, that's, coming from a place of love. Like, clearly he was a fan of William Castle and his work early on. But, like, the movies that they remade, it always feels like this. It always feels like, that's good enough. No, it's not good enough. Do it better. Like, it's not good enough to, like, have one idea that supersedes the original comic that was meant for kids in the 1950s. Make it good for adults right now. Like, I don't know. I'm getting a little too rabid about this right now, but, it's frustrating because this your rabidity is matched only by mine, because, again, and this does come back to these comments that were made on Twitter, people who don't sit and actually watch the show from the beginning to where we are now can pick and choose and pretend like the show is amazing. Yeah.
Some episodes are amazing, but on the whole?
No, man.
No.
Man Who Was Death, Three's a Crowd. Like, those are the only two off the top of my head that I can point to and go, that's fucking brilliant. That's as good as anything you're ever going to get on television. And the fact that we have so many other episodes that don't even come close to that is really, it angers me. Like, that, there's so much talent out there waiting to work. And the fact that they're just kind of shrugging and going, yeah, good enough, like, really burns me, man.
Well, I agree 100%. It's unfortunate, and it just feels like a massive waste of opportunity. Doesn't it?
So screw you, Tales from the Crypt. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure we have some golden nuggets like on the horizon, but so far season 4 has been just a tragic oversight. Like what the series is capable of and what they're kind of rotely giving us is just unfair to the viewers, man. Unfair.
I agree. And so, speaking of that, on the next episode of Chronicles from the Crypt, if you continue to listen to us after we effectively said that the show is garbage, no, I mean, again, we would not be getting this fired up about this if we didn't love the show as much as we do.
Yeah, man. That's
the way it is, right? Like, I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to fight with you as a person unless I care about you so much that I think you can take it. I think this show can take it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fans of the show should be able to take some criticism here. Because
if it didn't reach heights of greatness on occasion, then I wouldn't care. I'd be like, yeah, that was a middling show. But like my memories of this show, like are borne out when I go back and watch those episodes that I'm remembering. Like, yeah, it was that good. It had the potential to be that good without all that much effort, seemingly. So fucking do that.
That I think for me, and clearly for you, is the bigger issue at hand here. It's taking everything that I would defend or talk about the show in a positive way and just kind of saying, yeah, right, fucker.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, yeah, we had that really good episode, but you know what? As long as we got a fucking vampire show up in episode 5, like, yeah, that's fine. Screw you and your memories of the original comic and what you're trying to get out of this one. Like, we're just doing our job. Feels like people cashing a fucking paycheck, and I cannot abide that.
Well, and again, this also comes back to what we're talking about now with the Creep Show reboot. It feels very similar. And like, whatever. People will like it, and people will go to bat for it, but who cares? We don't actually have to, like, try. Feels very similar.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I mean, I've enjoyed a couple of those Creep Show episodes more than you. I think some of those episodes are definitely better than what we've been getting for all of season 4 so far of Tales from the Crypt, which is crazy to me because these are not based on the original comics. These are based on a movie based on those comics, or at least sort of inspired by them. So, what are they doing right that this show wasn't? And I really can't put my finger on it right now, but yeah, I mean,
it has an actual defined showrunner. That has to be what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think before 10, 15 years ago, people didn't even, I don't think, realize that there was a person sort of like guiding the way. There was a
quote unquote showrunner,
right? Somebody
I think
like
J.J. Abrams and Joss Whedon are like the two big ones when I think of people that kind of like made waves as like a showrunner.
Yeah, because they hired publicists to let everyone know that they were doing that.
Well, if your ego was giant and your penis was small, you would do the same thing.
I certainly would, so I can't fault them in that regard. But it has become more and more prevalent, or at least relevant, that whoever is running the show is, I couldn't tell you right now who was running the show on Tales from the Crypt. That's my failing as a podcaster talking about the show, and I apologize because I'm going to get to the bottom of this, because whoever's at the helm right now is really dropping the fucking ball. And yeah, I don't know. I'm sure, like I said, things are going to get better, but for now, garbage.
I agree 100%, which brings me to the next stand of episodes we're going to be watching. Which yay for the second, maybe not for the first. We're going to be talking about on the next episode of Chronicles from the Crypt, Beauty Rest, and one of the best episodes of the show, if I remember it correctly, What's Cookin', featuring Christopher Reeve.
Yes. I actually have a personal stake in that particular episode.
Ha! No pun intended.
Stakes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So until then, where can people find you, Father Malone?
Well, I won't plug this show, which you're already listening to, which I tend to do. You can get me on YouTube. Check out my YouTube channel, On 5 Films. I've got 2 shows, Unaired Pilots and You've Never Seen. You can also hear me over on Dreams for Sale, the Twilight Zone 85 podcast, another anthology television series where the people at the helm were paying a little bit more attention. And on occasion, more often than not, you can also hear me on the Culture Cast. That is your show, Chris. I don't know if you're aware of that.
I am aware of that.
Oh my God, well, I'm on it sometimes.
You sure are. And when I'm not here, you can find me on a couple podcasts I do. Kolchak Tapes, where I talk about Kolchak the Night Stalker. One season show where we talk about shows that only lasted one season. Big thanks as always to John Kassir for the intro to the podcast. If you want to find more about the podcast, go to chroniclesftc.com. Follow us on Twitter at chroniclesftc, and we're just Chronicles from the Crypt on Facebook. So go over there and harass us and tell us about how terrible our opinion is.
Chris, if anyone responds to anything, I'll send them one of our beautiful new keychains.
That's true, yeah. Send them a keychain. Even if our little pal who just discovered Tales from the Crypt, if you respond, we'll send you a keychain too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so you can put it on your keyring.
It's got a photograph of actual fans of the show on it.
Weird!
Crazy.